What's going on, Stim Junkies? High Stim Ace here. Hope you guys are having an incredible week, getting ready to go into this weekend and absolutely crush High Stim Saturday and High Stim Sunday. Today, I will be reviewing these 4 bars and ranking them in order. And these come to us from my good friends over at Atlas Nutrition. And as far as I know, they are not a brand new company. I think they've been around the block for a little while. Their Instagram page would lead me to believe that, but it's the first I've ever heard of them. They actually reached out to me on Instagram. You guys should be following me on Instagram at High Stim Ace, in case you're not following me already. You guys are following High Stim Ace on YouTube, but you're not following me on Instagram. What are you even doing with your lives? With that being said, the fine folks over at Atlas Nutrition did reach out to me, and they offered to send me a variety box through their Amazon, which I believe is the only place that you can get these bars as of this recording. And I obviously said yes. I'm always looking for some protein snacks, especially in the morning. I'm always waking up late. I'm always rushing out of work, and I don't really have time to make a fancy breakfast in the morning. Not to mention, I don't really have much of an appetite first thing when I wake up. So for me, grabbing a cup of coffee, grabbing a good protein bar that has around 200, 220 calories with 18 to 20 grams of protein is very ideal. It lets me take it on the go, and I have to get on the train. I got to get to work. I'm doing stuff. So you guys know how it is living in the city. You're always going to be busy, dealing with a hectic lifestyle. So for me, having something like this is a very, very good option. So with that being said, guys, we're going to roll that intro. And when we come back, I'm going to talk about the macros, the texture, the 4 flavors, and I'm going to rank my favorite flavors for you guys. Let's roll that intro and let's get talking about Atlas Nutrition protein bars. All right, guys, so before I get into the macros and breaking down the label and the ingredients, I want to once again give a thanks and a shout out to the good folks over at Atlas Nutrition for sending this one my way for review. It did come included with 12 bars, 3 of each flavor, so that gives us 4 flavors. And I really enjoyed all of them. There was one I wasn't too crazy about, but the other 3 were absolute bangers. And in my opinion, better than most protein bars on the market, especially considering that my favorite protein bar from Legendary Nutrition recently has gone really downhill. We're going to talk about that in another video, guys. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but we're going to break down the label first. I'm going to have to actually see, because you know what? Other than looking at the main ingredients on here, I never actually went through the entire label. So we're going to be doing this together for the very first time here on this video. And then I'm actually going to open one up. We're going to eat it here together, or rather, you guys are going to watch me eat it. And I'm going to tell you what I think, show you the texture, describe it to you guys in excruciating detail so you can live vicariously through me and decide whether it's worth picking this one up or not. So here in front of me, I'm holding my very favorite flavor, which, oops, spoiler alert, it is the peanut butter raspberry flavor. It tastes like straight up PB&J. Really delicious. But you see, it's a very minimalist kind of design. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy, sleek and to the point. Each different flavor has a different color wrapper, but they all have the same aesthetic, the same design. It says Atlas Mind and Body Fuel. It says the flavor underneath, peanut butter and raspberry. And then when you look at the back, it just tells you the quick facts right here. 20 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, 4 grams of net carbs. And this is an interesting addition, 300 milligrams of KSM 66 ashwagandha. That's interesting. And kind of pointless, if I'm being honest, because as far as I understand, if you really want to reap the benefits of ashwagandha, then it needs to saturate in your system over a period of time. So unless you're eating one of these every single day, which maybe that's what they're trying to do, maybe that is actually the genius marketing mechanic here. They want you eating one of these bars every single day or 2. That way you can get your efficacious dose of KSM 66 ashwagandha, which for the record, I'm not a big fan of ashwagandha. It doesn't seem to work all that well on me, but that's another story for another time. We're going to break down the entire label. I have to bring it up a little bit here to see what we're actually working with. Nutrition facts, we got serving sizes 1 bar, obviously, 54 grams. And you are getting 210 calories, which is on the low end for protein bars. Some of these bars today go up to like 350, 400. I've seen some bars go up to 450. I kid you not. I've seen some bars with like 420, 450 calories and like 20, 25 milligrams of sugar. What are we doing, guys? We're trying to eat healthy here. We're not trying to eat junk food. If that's the case, I'm just going to go get myself like a Kit Kat bar. You know, what is even the point? That's just ridiculous. but you are getting 8 grams of total fat in here, which is not too bad. 3 grams of saturated fat, 0 grams trans fat, 20 milligrams of cholesterol, sodium 200 milligrams. So that's going to help a little bit with the pumps. You guys want to be pumped up and swollen juicy. Maybe having one of these bars is not such a bad idea before the workout. 19 grams of total carbs, which it is going to come out to 4 grams of net carbs if you guys are on the ketogenic diet, which for the record, I do not recommend. Absolutely bad experience every time I ran the keto diet. So I don't recommend it. Maybe I'll do a video on the keto diet one day. You guys let me know in the comments down below if you want High Stim Ace talking about the keto diet. Warning, if I do end up doing that video, it's going to get very, very graphic. We got 10 grams of fiber in here, which is really, really nice, going to help with the digestion. And then you only have 1 gram of sugar, including 0 grams of added sugar. Very nice. Vegetable glycerin, 5 grams. Protein, 20 grams. And then a couple of miscellaneous vitamins in here, vitamin D, calcium, iron, potassium, etc. Okay, so very solid label. I really, really like it. 210 calories, 20 grams of protein. That to me is the golden ratio right there. I usually like to keep, like I said, my bars no more than 220 calories, because then at that point I'll just have a protein shake and get double the protein. But if I actually want to eat something to satisfy that craving, then 210, 220 calories is great. So you're getting 20 grams of protein, very, very good. Now, if we're looking at the actual ingredients, I got to squint a little bit here because it's really small and barely visible, but you're getting some peanut butter, grass-fed protein blend, which is a blend of whey protein isolate and whey protein concentrate, as well as milk protein isolate. Then you have whey protein crisp, soluble vegetable fiber, vegetable glycerin, water, coconut oil, raspberries, sunflower lecithin, Himalayan pink salt, KSM 66 ashwagandha, and monk fruit. So overall, a pretty minimalist kind of label. Obviously got the lecithin in here, you know, the sunflower lecithin and whatever, you know, vegetable glycerin. Some people may not like those ingredients, but I've seen way, way worse. And you do need a binding agent, obviously, right? You don't want this thing to come apart in your mouth, right? That sounded wrong. But anyway, we're going to talk about the flavor, guys. I'm going to open this one right now. This is my favorite flavor. Like I said earlier, the peanut butter and raspberry tastes straight up like PB&J. So we're going to open this up right now, and I'm going to tell you what I think, right? So we could take the bar out. It does have a little bit of like an oily kind of texture to it, which I guess is to prevent the wrapper from sticking to it. You know, with the Quest bars, which I do like the Quest bars, a lot of times they get stuck to the wrapper. You really have to like kind of tear it apart. You saw that this one came apart very easily, and it does look like a typical protein bar, right? It's got a hard kind of texture, a little bit of that oily finish on the outside. And we're going to take a bite, and I'm going to tell you guys what I think. Cheers. It's really chewy, which some people may not be into. It's got a very interesting texture because the initial bite you take will be chewy. It's going to get stuck to your teeth a little bit, but then it kind of turns into a dry, flaky kind of texture while you're chewing on it. And then it's kind of going to dissolve. So you're not going to have residue where it's sticking to your teeth, at least not as much as other bars. Again, I'm picking on Quest Protein because they're famous and because I use them regularly, because they're available in pretty much every bodega and 7-Eleven here in the city. But Quest Protein is very chewy, and sometimes it does get stuck in between your teeth, and sometimes I have to floss afterwards. It gets annoying. This one does have that initial chewy aspect, but then it kind of gets like a little bit dry when you chew on it, as weird as that sounds, and it almost kind of crumbles in your mouth. And then the chewiness just kind of dissolves. It's very interesting, and I like it. I actually kind of like it. The first bar I had was the dark chocolate almond flavor, which incidentally is my least favorite. It's still good, but it's my least favorite if I had to rank them. That one, for some reason, has a bit more of a chewy texture. The other ones are all more or less the way I described this bar here to be, but that chocolate almond one does have a little bit more of a chewiness to it, and I did find that I had to drink a little bit of milk to really get it down. By the way, pairs really, really good with milk or almond milk, whatever you guys are into. But my point is, it's not one of those bars that's super dry in your mouth like the Sahara Desert where you have to chug something afterwards. It kind of dissolves and you're good to go. You could take another bite afterwards and go on with your day. The flavor is really good. It tastes like peanut butter, real peanut butter, not that fake stuff, PB2 or whatever. It tastes like real peanut butter, but without the fat, without the extra crap that's in there. It tastes healthy. I don't know how else to describe it. It tastes like you're eating something healthy, but it also is very enjoyable. It's not overly sweet, which I am super thankful for. A lot of these bars in this day and age include so much artificial sweeteners, whether it's erythritol or Splenda or sucralose or monk fruit. This one has monk fruit, but not a lot. It's got a subtle sweetness to it, which I enjoy and I appreciate, but it's not super sugary and super over the top, which is great. I really like this one. It's really good. So when you go on Amazon and you click the link and you have the option to purchase, you can actually get each one of those flavors individually, or you can get the variety bundle, which is what I got because as a reviewer, I wanted to try all of them and see which ones I liked most. So me personally, and this is just my personal ranking, if I were to rank them from my favorite to my least favorite, the first spot has to go to the peanut butter raspberry because it does taste like PB&J. I love the texture. I love the flavor, not overly sweet, and just very delicious, very enjoyable, and also very filling. There's something about this texture, maybe because you have to chew on it a little bit longer, and then it has that dryness on the back end. It's very filling, and I like that. Now, this one here is very similar. This is the peanut butter chocolate chip. So the bar itself is going to taste just like the peanut butter raspberry, but instead of raspberries, you have chocolate chips. So very, very good option. Almost has like a bit of a Reese's flavor to it. The chocolate chips are made from dark chocolate. It's a very good combination. Again, not overly sweet, not too sugary, and I like that. Then coming in at number 3, we have almond chocolate chips. So the bar itself is made from almond butter, and there are chocolate chips in here. This one's really good. I really like this one a lot, but I'm biased towards peanut butter. I've always been a peanut butter guy. During my heavy days, I would literally be eating Skippy peanut butter out of the jar with a spoon. So, sometimes I still do that, guys. Some things never change. But my least favorite would have to be the dark chocolate almond because the texture on here is a little bit drier, a little bit more chewy. It's the only one that has the texture that is slightly different than the other 3, but I still like it. I would still pick this bar here over a lot of the mainstream bars that you see at bodegas or at your local 7-Eleven, Wawa's, wherever, whichever state you're in, whatever bodegas they have. But that's it, guys. That is my review. If you guys are in the market and looking for a new protein bar to test out that is healthy, that has clean ingredients, you can check this one out from Atlas Nutrition. I'm going to post their Amazon link below. That is the only place to get them as far as I know. It's $30 for 12, so it's a very fair price. I don't have any discount codes because this is Amazon, but sometimes Amazon does run their own promotions or you have the subscribe and save, so you never know. You can finagle around and look and see what you find. Maybe you'll find yourself some sort of deal on Amazon. But with that being said, guys, that was my review. I hope you enjoyed it and found it beneficial. Don't forget to like the video if you found this to be informative. Comment down below. Tell me if you've ever heard of these bars, and if not, are you interested in picking these up? Hope you guys have an incredible weekend up ahead, and I will see you all next time for the next High Stim pre-workout review. Take care, everybody. High Stim Ace, signing off.